In this video today, I'd like to inspire you. You see, I'm not going to be speaking to those who aren't saved. I'm going to be speaking to those who are already saved and are wondering how to take the next steps, or are hesitant to take the next steps in their spiritual life. So, one of the things that I've had a lot of struggles with is thinking, when witnessing to other people, that I'm not righteous enough, that I'm not good enough to say those things, that, I'm a sinful person, so I shouldn't be speaking to other people about the right things to do when I myself don't do those things. Now, though that would seem correct, that is actually incorrect. You think that you're being a hypocrite. Well, you have to realize that everybody is a sinner and everybody needs help. And it doesn't matter where you're at. It matters where other people are at and what you need to do to help those people where they're at. The second thing that is kind of set me back from going out witnessing to people is thinking that I sound too much like a preacher. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, I mean by saying things that might sound spiritual in a way, something that would be more of what a pastor would say. And think to myself, that sounds kind of weird. I don't think I should say that. Or I'm in a situation where I feel like I should say something, but I feel like it would sound too peculiar. But those are lies. If what you're saying is coming from the heart, coming from what God is telling you to say, then you need to go out and say those things. Don't feel held back. That feeling of held back, I believe, is the devil, okay? I'm going to say it flat out. I feel like that's the devil trying to keep you from preaching God's word, from saying the truth. Now, another thing I want to say is to not worry about what other people think, Don't worry about what another person is thinking of you when you say these things, okay? When you say when you're trying to witness to somebody. Because you have to understand that God is here, all right? God is right here. And we are right here. Now, he does not see some of us as more popular than others or less popular than others. And he's not scaled us down for those things. So, when you look at a congregation of people, when you look at a group of people, when you look at a person, look at them right here. Don't think, oh, they're better than me. Oh, they're worse than me. Look at them right here. Because we're all at the same place under God. You have to understand. The last thing I want to say is, this is actually something that Denzel Washington, an actor who is very popular, he goes around and he goes to different schools, actually universities, and he goes out and he talks about goals, he talks about dreams, and one of the things he says is, if you don't fail, you're not even trying. And that really hit me hard, because it makes me realize that whenever I look at somebody, I'm like, oh, I should witness that person. And then I decide, oh, I won't do that. It means you're deciding that you don't even want to try because you think you're going to fail. Do not decide off the bat that you are going to fail. And even if you do fail, at least you're trying, because God is going to count you for when you try. If you fail or if you succeed, that is not what God is going to count you for. God is going to count you for when you try. So go out there and try. Go out there and fail. Because there's an old saying, if you stick around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. So if you keep on failing, there's going to be a time when you succeed. And when you succeed, that is one more person to heaven. All right? So go out there and fail. Fail until you succeed. And the last thing, something actually my dad has told me a lot. has told me once, actually. Not a lot. But picture it like this, okay? You're in a stadium. I live in Washington, so I'll use the Tacoma Dome as an example. And all those people who are saved are all up in the stadium, okay? And in the middle of that stadium are those who didn't accept Jesus as their Savior, who didn't, listen to other people when they spoke to them. And you're sitting up, you're saved, and you're sitting up with everybody else. And there's God down there with all those sinners. And an angel, and he has the book of life opened up. And the man walks up to God, and God says, look for his name in the book of life. And he looks through for his name. He says, I can't find it. So that man, 2 angels come over and they start dragging him off. Where are they dragging them off, you might ask? They're dragging him off to the pits of hell. That's where they're dragging him off to. Where he will burn forever. And as he's being dragged off, he looks around the stadium of people who are up in the crowd. And he sees you. All the way up there in the bleachers. He sees you. And when he looks at you, he says, you could have saved me. You could have led me to the waters. And I could be up there with you in those bleachers, but you didn't. You didn't because you were afraid. You were afraid you might fail. You were afraid you might look stupid. And then he's gone.